my friends are visiting, my college friends. So I'm so excited.
No way!
And do like a fun little Q&A session. Jeans, these might even be. Okay, hello y'all. So I'm gonna do a little weekend vlog because my friends are visiting, my college friends. So I'm so excited, and they're literally probably like 5 minutes away. So I just spent the past couple hours like cleaning, getting their towels ready and everything. I did 2 loads of laundry today, and then we're doing a little taco night. So I got some black beans and corn, which I was, as you saw, I was trying to like heat it up and then it exploded for some reason. So just gonna serve it cold. And then we got some ground turkey, and then I have a bunch of hard shell tacos. So yeah, but I'm very excited for the weekend. I made like a little itinerary, which they've been to Chicago before so many times, but I just feel like it's so fun when you, as an adult, when your friends visit, because you're just like, oh my God, I wanna show you like everything I like, but not touristy stuff. And it's also Shiv and I's like first official like couple guests that are staying. Like my sister has slept over, and then like I've had like a girlfriend or two stay over sometimes, but we've never had like people together stay for the whole weekend. So it's a special milestone.
What about the garlic? Oh, and then there's like... No way! Nice to see you.
Hello. So good to see you. Hello.
I got so scared. You're like, there's our, I'm like,
Did you like hear it? Like you saw the lights and you're like, oh, was anyone?
I didn't.
I was like, dude, I was like, it's so gonna be easy to get it past.
I don't know why. I was like, I was pacing. I was like waiting for you
like
guys.
text me, she's like, was it so obvious? I was like, Dylan has no idea.
How? I literally
I was like, Dylan doesn't
started
notice.
yelling. Oh, come on. I started
I
like
didn't
yelling
know.
like Shiv, Shiv, Shiv. Okay, so haven't really given an update all day, but this is my friend. Okay, so literally just worked all day and then just submitted my accounting homework. It's 6:32 p.m.
Well,
and
that's like a big arm movement
it's like
at the time.
because my sweatshirt was like covering it. The boys are picking up some pizza. We're doing one deep dish pizza from Pequod's, and then we're doing one New York style from Robert's to give these out-of-towners a true taste of Chicago. What have you been up to? I can't show that.
Yeah, I've been doing
I just did a
some
flash.
wedding planning stuff now that I need to finish very soon, so that I can be ready when the pizza gets here, because I'm starving.
Yeah,
So
they're probably gonna get here in like 15 minutes. So,
I know, I'm excited.
and then we're just gonna do a chill little game night tonight.
Assuming she dislikes.
Oh, see, that
Just
makes
like-
it difficult versus like she
What?
doesn't think it's good, so it's like there shouldn't be poverty, so it's at the bottom.
Yeah.
Like
I
get
don't
rid
know
of
if
it.
she- Right. What do you think?
I agree with
Okay, so we just got ready for a fun little Christmassy holiday themed day. So we're gonna go to the Christkindl Market, which is a little 5-minute walk from here, and then we're gonna go to Ralph's Coffee, which I've never tried, and she was actually the one who was like, oh, I want to go there, but it was already on the itinerary I created. So I was like, okay, great. And then literally, I don't think I told you this, but a couple days after we had the conversation, I was in the elevator and this like random girl was like, oh my God, we need to go to Ralph's before we move. And then her husband or whoever was just like, why do we have to go to Ralph's? And she's like, it's just so good. And then like typical like girl guy thing. But anyways, I thought that was funny because I was like, wow, it's like destiny that we should like go there. Yeah. But I don't know if it'll be like really touristy and packed because it's a Saturday.
It might be. And
Yeah.
plus, because it feels like kind of a Christmas activity because it's like near stores that
Yeah.
people shop at. But
Yeah, but we're gonna drive there because it's a little cold outside and it's like a 30-minute walk. So, and then we'll probably just like peruse, dilly dally, and then we have dinner reservations at 7 p.m. at this like Mexican restaurant called Tezuko. So my arm's getting tired. So yeah, but I thought okay. Also, so this girl said she has blush blindness, and I was like, she literally doesn't. Like, I feel like the makeup looks so good.
Thank you.
And I think especially, like, I think the color you chose matches really well with your skin tone.
I did do blush, like the cream blush, and then I went over it with powder blush.
Is cream blush the same thing as liquid blush? No.
No, it's like a stick.
Oh,
so it's
that's what I did. I did cream blush, yeah.
And then I did powdered.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, because I feel like that's what gives it like the pinky on the nose part.
Yeah.
I feel like the cream one blends too much into some area. Like I feel like here you can see the cream,
Yeah.
but not in the middle. So I like to add a little on the cheeks. I know some people don't, but
No, I think you're supposed to like stack different types of blush on top of each other.
yeah,
like,
I saw in the
that's
video. I
normal.
didn't make it up.
No, I definitely think.
would not be able to think of that.
But okay, let's do a little like OOTD.
Okay, so this is a little like cropped puffer vest. This was actually a gift, so I don't know where this one's from. This was a Christmas gift, but then I just have like a long sleeve, like crew neck, very soft, like buttery tee from Express, jeans from H&M.
Little booty pop.
Yeah, that's it.
Yay. Okay, mine's not that exciting, but I don't know where the sweater's from. It's like literally 5-6 years old. Maybe like H&M or something, I'm not sure. And then these pants are new though, they're from Abercrombie and Fitch. I was trying to look, I think I mentioned earlier on a vlog, I've been trying to look for like boot cut or like straight jeans. These might even be like kind of flare almost, because I have these like long cute like black boots that I want to wear them underneath, and I feel like when they're too tight here then I can't wear like longer boots. So I think the outfit look better with the shoes, and then I'm gonna wear like my black puffer, and then probably like a little like snowy hat, you know.
That'd be cute.
But
I brought a scarf, but I think the scarf's too much, and
I
it's
think
kind of
the
like
scarf is
elaborate.
too hot,
Yeah.
honestly, 'cause, yeah. But that's a bit.
Cute.
Oh my god. The line is absolutely insane, so we are just going to
Why don't you take
it out here.
Hand it to me. You have memory.
What fruit note did you give out? Plum. I don't know what this is from. I can't remember what it was.
Okay, happy Sunday. I feel like I haven't really been talking that much, surprisingly, because I always actually talk in these vlogs. I talk too much. But I'm wearing this cute little jammy set. I feel like when I have people over, it motivates me to actually look cute when I go to sleep. But yesterday was so fun. It was like such a busy day because we were out from literally like I think like 1 or 2 p.m. all the way up until like 9:30, and then we just like after dinner we just chilled and talked, and so it was really fun. But the Christkindl Market was absolutely crazy. Like the line was wrapped around a block of like downtown Chicago, so it's like huge, and so many people were like actually down to wait in line. And I feel like each of us have been to Christkindl Market to some degree. Like Yana and Dylan haven't been to the one in downtown Chicago, but it's kind of the same idea. So we were like, that's just not worth it. But then we did go to Ralph's Coffee, which that there was a line, so we probably waited in line for like 45 minutes, but I think that was worth it, to be honest. Like, we got seats and it's such a vibe, and we got to be able to walk around the store too, and I think that was worth it. Like, honestly, I would be so down to go there again, like with a girlfriend or someone, and like just sit there and hang out and talk, because it is really cute. And then we had dinner reservations at 7 p.m., which was a 6-minute walk from Ralph's. So we were like, okay, what do we do from, 3:30 p.m. to 7 p.m.? And we couldn't move up our reservations because they were super busy. So we ended up just going to like this wine bar, and I feel like it was really spontaneous, which was nice. I feel like I suck at being spontaneous sometimes, so it was cool that it worked out and we found a wine bar. And then we honestly hung out there for like an hour and a half, but then they kind of kicked us out because they just like gave us our bill without us asking. So we're like, okay, we gotta go. So then we went to the restaurant early and we're like, hey, can you seat us? They're like, no, we don't even have a bar that you can sit. Like, the bar has very limited seating. So we're like, okay, that sucks. So then we went to this actual bar that's more like a sports bar that's like in the basement, gives frat party vibes. That's like, I've gone there after class because we were in Streeterville, which is where my school is, and so we usually go there after class, and we ended up going there, and Yana and I just like people watched, to be honest, but Dylan and Shiv were watching the like UT Austin and Georgia football game. And then we finally went to the restaurant, and the restaurant was a little frustrating because we did have to wait for like 15-20 minutes to get seated, but I mean, it's fine, it happens. But the food was so good. Like, I would definitely recommend if you're in the city to go to Tzuco, Tzuco, and the vibes are really cute, like the decorations, and the food was just amazing. Like, it was a really unique menu, I thought, and really good. So I would definitely be down to go there again in the future. But yeah, today the plan is to just go to Chinatown and show them a couple of our favorite spots in Chinatown, and then they're flying out, sadly, around 3 p.m. So I will drop them off to the airport, and then I have to do like homework, yay, and just Sunday reset things.
Ooh, Burberry. Wait, you were just talking about Burberry.
Wait, really? That's like a random thing to talk about. Wait, why?
I think we were at the Ralph Lauren store and you asked Shiv if he wanted something designer, and I was like, do you want like a Burberry?
Oh.
He wants a Burberry like jacket or something.
Well, open it. There's things in it.
Shut up.
Is there something in mine?
No. I didn't want to touch yours because yours was like it was like nicely packaged.
Wow, this is so
Products?
fancy.
We love a good Kylie.
I want to smell it, but I'm gonna leave it packaged so it's easy.
But will you have to unpackage it for TSA? You might have to.
Oh, you're right.
Are you still
Well, we thought we would be kind of weird and do like a fun little Q&A session just for the vlog. So
like a vlogging podcast.
Yeah, because if you didn't know, we used to actually have a podcast back in COVID for a couple years, and we have since deleted everything because it's kind of cringy, but
So we wanted to like roll it back and have
Yeah.
a little throwback to our podcast. But now that Shivani's a vlogger instead of a podcaster,
Yeah.
we're gonna do it in vlog form.
and I figured, if you don't know my friend Yana, you better get to know her now. So we're just gonna do like random, like we only have 15-20 minutes, so we're just gonna do like a couple questions that I wrote down for her, and if they turn into a discussion, great, and then she also has a question, so we'll just go back and forth. Okay, the first one I have, maybe I'll start with the number 2. what was your first impression of me? And then I figured I could answer it vice versa.
That's a good one. Okay, I think I've kind of told you this
Yeah.
a little bit, but so we had math class together, Calc 2, Calc 3,
Calc
2.
Calc 2.
Calc 2 in college, and I guess I probably didn't notice Shivani on like the first day, but maybe like the second or third day or like second week of class, I noticed her because I became friends with this other girl who sat next to me, and I think she knew Shivani, so they would say hi to each other. But then I thought Shivani, I saw that she had like a little, you know, sorority thing on her shirt, so I thought she was like super cool, and I wasn't familiar with like the Greek life, so I thought she was like super cool in a sorority, and she just kind of has like a resting bitch face, to be honest. So she was like very like serious, but I feel like at that point we still wore cute outfits to class and not sweatpants yet.
It was like the first week of college.
Yeah.
So,
So I felt like you're like so cute, and you're like in a sorority, and you just like always look serious. So I'm like, oh, she must be like really cool. But I thought she didn't fuck with me because I think it's just like your resting face. And I feel like we wouldn't like really make eye contact or anything, even though Alex like knew both of us. But I guess that was like my very initial impression without having like talked to you.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Yeah, we have talked about it. I think for me to you was like, it's interesting. Mine, I felt like you were just really like cool. Like it was similar, but not in like a you were too cool for me. I felt like you were really friendly. And there was also this dude that, because I think you became friends with Ben first.
Yeah, I might have known Ben even before Alex.
Well, no, but he was also an IE when we went in, so I knew him too. And Alex,
but he was
too.
also very extroverted.
But he was
so
really
he, like, talked to
extroverted, so I think
everyone.
Yana like became friends with this other guy, and then it was just kind of like I was friends with Alex, this girl, and then like we all kind of like mutually knew each other, and I think Yana was just like, it felt like you were just like friendly with everyone, so I was like, oh, she seems like really nice and like really cool. Like I thought you were more not like tomboyish, but like oh wow, like she gets along with like guys and like just really friendly and stuff like that kind of thing. And then I remember, well, this is not really the first impression, but it kind of goes into it. We like barely like talked really, like it was very just like here and there, maybe exchanging
like class,
problems,
like,
making fun of our professor, like things like that. But then we probably exchanged numbers just like for school. And then one day she like called me and she's like, hey, like do you want, this is like really random, but do you want to go to Target? I have to get my friend like a birthday gift. And then I was just like in my dorm room and I was like, oh, like right now. And she's like, yeah, like I was thinking we could take the bus like in like whatever, like an hour and meet up. And then I was like, oh yeah, I'd love to. And I thought that was like so cool, and just like it's also really wholesome thinking back at it, because I don't know if like college kids do that in today's day.
Yeah, maybe not.
Because I just feel like I would have not done that, because I was like really like nervous to make friends, and I was like scared of making the first move, because I was like, what if someone rejects me? And I thought that was like really brave of you to just be like, oh, do you want to go to Target together? And it was also really wholesome, because it was just like, oh, I have to go anyways. Like, do you just want to be company? And that was like the start of our friendship.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's what happened. I feel like I think I texted Alex or something, and she either didn't respond or initially shot me down. I was like, and I was nervous to ask you because we
barely
only talked about math.
Yeah.
And then I was like, but you know what? Like, I do think like I like this Shivani girl. Like, I think she's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So like, I was like, maybe I'll just ask her. And then, yeah, I'm glad that you came with, because I don't know, like, maybe our friendship would have taken so much longer to develop if you, like, hadn't said, because then I feel like we talked about boys, and we, like, talked about shit, and, like, other random stuff, and then we realized we had more in common, versus just, like, schoolwork, because I did feel kind of left out in math class, because you guys were all IEs.
Yeah, and we were
like,
talking
you guys
about class
all had the same classes, versus I don't know anyone from my major that was in that class.
I think you knew one guy.
Yeah, maybe. I don't even remember now who else was. I just remember us four, to be honest, but,
no, it is funny how, which is still true to this day, I feel like now being in grad school, it's still the same, like, honestly applies, is like, you can be friends with someone in class, but it only goes so far until you hang out with someone outside of class. And I even believe nowadays, I'm like, even when you go get drinks in a, like, group setting, that's not enough to make a friend. I think it's things like going to the grocery store or, like, going on a walk together. Like, those are moments where you're actually, like, having a conversation, versus, like, going to a busy bar where it's loud and you can't even have a conversation. So I still think it's, like, the same like logic applies to making friends, but yeah, I'm glad Like
Yeah.
you called me and it was just
Yeah,
like
me
fun.
too.
Yeah.
And it's funny because like at that point I was probably closer friends with Ben and Alex, and then
Yeah.
I'm literally not friends with either of them now. I don't have anything against Ben.
Yeah.
Like we didn't have a falling out. It's just like he changed majors and then like
He's
we
like
saw each
famous.
other.
He's like up
Yeah.
to
He lives in
42K
Minnesota.
followers. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Alex didn't got engaged. I think I saw on
I think
Instagram.
so too. But yeah, with her I
Yeah.
never kept contact. Versus like Ben like likes my posts and stuff. every
Yeah.
once in a while.
I'm sure like if I ran into him, like we'd be like, oh my god, hey.
Yeah.
But like with Alex, I don't think she liked me ever. So
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'll cut that part out.
Do you want me to go to one of mine?
Yeah, you go to your question.
Okay, let's see.
Your phone case matches like the chairs.
Yeah. Okay, I want to hear about, and this is funny because we're vlogging it. I want to hear about like your vlogging experience
Ooh.
and like what you think about it, like pros and cons, like what do you like about it. And I'm just like so curious
Yeah.
because like I don't know another friend that vlogs, and
Yeah.
obviously other vloggers are all like actually famous.
Yeah.
So I'm just like curious about like, do you get like nervous like
Oh.
filming outside in public? Like what does Shiv think of it? Like things like that.
Okay.
So it's kind of a discussion. But
And just some like backstory also, like so Yana has been like vlogging for years, and then I actually, when I was interested in it, Yana and I FaceTime like every month or so, and I told her, I was like, oh, I have like an important question, like what are your thoughts on like me doing it, like do you have advice, and like I just wanted to understand like how much work does she spend, because like we both have full-time jobs and all that. So like she gave me like the rundown and like her honest opinion on like pros and cons and her thoughts on me too doing it, and I thought that was really helpful. And like she basically kind of like pushed me to be like, you should just try it out. If you hate it, like you have nothing to lose and you just stop that hobby. But okay, anyways, pros and cons. I think I'm still like really nervous to vlog like in public. Like I still like, I felt like it's even on the streets, like you're really confident pulling out the camera, and I don't think I can do
I do
that.
try to do it like discreetly because I think. Sorry, I'm like literally jumping into your
No, you're
question.
fine, you're fine.
But I do think Dylan gets more embarrassed than I do. Like
Yeah.
at the airports, I feel like I just will hold it up.
Yeah.
And I've seen other people do it, and I
Yeah.
assume that they're famous when they're
Yeah.
doing that. I don't make fun of them.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, oh wow, maybe that person's like someone.
Yeah.
But he gets really flustered in public.
Yeah.
Because it does attract attention to him too. So sometimes he'll just like, he used to just walk away from me. Which is like fine,
Yeah.
because then I also am less nervous, because sometimes talking
Yeah.
in front of another person, you like stumble
Oh,
over
yeah.
your words and you have to
Yeah.
redo it, and then it takes longer. But I do try to be discreet about it. Like I wouldn't like, I'm more open doing it with you guys too, because you vlog and I know Shiv won't judge me. But if like we went out with some other friends where like no one even like takes pictures of food or whatever at the table, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'll take a little phone video and no one would notice,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't like be holding the camera.
No, I get
and
so
talking.
even like, you know how people do like the walking ones where it's like reverse camera. Like I get, it has to be like empty. Like there has to be not even
Yeah.
anyone walking.
And I do try
my
to
same
judge
direction.
that.
Yeah.
Because I also don't want to run into someone and be like stupid.
No, and I don't know. I don't know why I care so much. I think it's just like, it's like getting used to it and getting out of the mindset that people even care. Like I think that if I saw someone else doing it, I don't think I would be like judging them. If anything, I would just be like, oh, I don't want to be in their shot, and I would just go a little bit out of my way to
Yeah.
avoid that. Which maybe there's a little bit of frustration where it's like, oh, like I don't want to be in your shot, but also sometimes I just don't care. It's like the same thing when people take selfies. Like you don't get annoyed when people are taking a selfie. That's just like
Yeah,
them
taking a
capturing the
picture.
moment. Yeah, but I think Shiv is a very supportive, and like I'm not saying Dylan's not. I'm just saying that I think Shiv also, you know him, like he does not give a shit about anything. Like
Yeah.
he's just so like chill with everything. Like he is the last person to like be scared of other people's judgment. If anything, I'm always worried about what other people are thinking. I'm always like, oh my god, that person's looking at me. That person's like judging me, and he's like, no, they're not. Like
Yeah.
he doesn't even think about that. So I think for him, he doesn't care at all. So that's nice, but I do think sometimes like on the vlog, like I'll try to have conversations with him, and he's just so like short, and he doesn't realize that he's like,
That's not how he normally talks.
yeah, and I'm just like,
And I think Dylan does that too. And I think because we're thinking about it, even if we're not like always like on camera,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, this is what I'm gonna say when I
Yeah, and
open.
he's like,
and then I'm
well-
like, oh, today I'll film maybe when we go to coffee or something, and like because it's like
Yeah.
brand new to them, and like some people just like act different
Yeah.
on camera. I mean, I act kind of different too.
And Shiv
Like,
has
it's,
said like
more
he's not
reserved.
good with being on the camera, and I feel like for me, I can like yap and yap and yap, and it's like natural to me. So, and I don't think that's natural to Shiv. So I do think that's one thing that he maybe feels uncomfortable about is when I put him on the spot, and I'm like, oh, how did
Okay.
you feel about the food? And he's just like, it's pretty good, pretty good. And like, any like specific details you want to share?
Yeah.
It's like, no, it was good. I'm like, okay. And like sometimes I get annoyed because I'm just like, I wish you could like bring more.
I know,
But
and
I
like
guess
more
I can
like
expect that.
candid
Yeah.
reactions, but that's really hard because like once you see the camera, like even this like happens at like work when like at events
Yeah.
people are like taking photos. I feel like you like
Yeah, you
sit up a
look
little
better.
straighter, and
Yeah.
then you're like
fixing your hair.
versus like
yeah.
it might look better if you're just like looking at your laptop, like working
Yeah.
on something, pointing to something.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I do think you get used to it.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
probably.
I'm trying to think what else. I think it's like really fun. We talked about this a little bit before, how like I think sometimes I do think it's a little bit of like not a self-obsession, but just like sometimes I do feel weird constantly videotaping myself talking about my own things, and I'm like, sometimes I feel it's like presumptuous to be like people actually care, but then I have to remind myself
But
that
it's
I'm
not
actually
about-
doing it for
yeah.
me. I'm not doing it for like the views or the likes or whoever wants to watch it can watch it. So I think that's actually really fun, and I do like the idea of like going back and being able to watch these like when like 10 years down the line and being like, oh my god, that was so fun when we were like, we're in such a fun phase of our life, like living in the city without like any obligations or anything. Like it's just nice to be able to remember those. It is also interesting going back to like the being kind of ashamed of it. Like I actually have only still to this day told like a couple close friends. Like I haven't told
I know you
like
told me that
some
because
of my
I've seen you
other
post it.
yeah, I haven't told any like some of my other close friends. I was really nervous to tell my sister and my mom, and then but yeah, I just did because I was like I need to like start being a little bit more vulnerable. I do think it's being vulnerable. Like I
Yeah,
think
it is.
like
It's
telling
like-
people it's like you're opening it up to someone else like potentially judging you, and even if they're like really close to you, like they're more likely to give you their opinion, being like, oh, why would you want to post that
Especially
kind of
your
thing?
mom and sister versus like a
Exactly.
stranger.
And my mom like loves it, and she's like, oh, this is
That's
so
so
cool.
cute.
And my sister, like, truthfully, I don't think she watches them, but that's like fine. I told them, I was like, I'm not expecting for you guys to
Yeah.
watch it. I'm just telling you so you don't feel like left out if like
Yeah.
I don't want you to like find out. But I do think I have close friends that don't know about it, which I still sometimes I feel like I'm betraying them almost, where I'm like, oh, like, should I be telling them? But then I'm just like, I don't know. But then I also think I think I need to be a little bit more open about it, but at the same time, this is like a me thing, and it's for me. Like, I don't owe anyone to tell anyone anything.
Yeah.
And if they asked me, like, do you have a YouTube channel? I would say,
Well,
yeah.
you're
But
not
don't
gonna
ask me.
lie. That's a really specific question. You can't just
Yeah.
assume.
I don't know.
I
how
feel
would
like if you were
live
like maybe like vlogging with someone, like
Then I-
taking-
no,
and
then I
someone's
would
like,
ask
are you
their
recording a horizontal video? Because I feel like
Yeah.
if you're taking a vertical,
Yeah.
no one's gonna ask you. But if you're
But
taking
then I don't take
horizontal-
videos when I'm with those people.
Oh yeah.
Or like if I was gonna do it like with you, for example,
Mm-hmm.
like I asked you before this, I was like, oh, is there specific things I shouldn't talk about, whatever, because I want to respect that privacy with my sister. I was like, sometimes she can be particular about certain things. So I was like, oh, do you mind if you're ever on my like vlog? And she's like, no, I don't mind as long as I don't have a double chin in the angle, because she's like self-conscious of our double chin. And I was like, okay, that's fair. So like I want to ask before they also are shown on YouTube, because we obviously know like random people could be watching it.
Yeah. That's
But,
fair.
yeah, I think I don't know, that didn't really answer your question, but those are just my general
No, I think
thoughts
those are
on
like
it.
pros and
Yeah.
cons. Yeah.
Yeah, stuff. So what would be your advice for someone who's planning their wedding? And I know that's probably hard because you probably have so much advice, but like what's your biggest piece of advice if someone asked you?
I would say you actually have to be like really organized about it. I think that's the big thing. I'm an organized person, but I think if you're not an organized person, I do think you have to have some sort of system. Like I'm using like Trello boards online, but like you can use so many different things. It doesn't have to be that. It can be like a physical planner. It can be like a spreadsheet. Like there's even on like Google Sheets, there's like wedding budget tracker ones that you can just download. It's like a template and it has a lot of the stuff. But I just didn't like the format, so I kind of like did my own thing. But I actually think like you have to put everything in one general location, or maybe two. Like if you're saving like inspiration elsewhere, that probably doesn't need to be by like the spreadsheet. But I actually think that's really important. I feel like you start with that before you start with like, because I feel like the fun part, you're like, oh, I want to go on Pinterest and look at ideas and look at dresses and look at like venues and all this stuff. And I feel like because you enjoy that, you should maybe like just get an organization system. Like think of, and you can change it later if it doesn't work for you. And then I feel like aligning, like, I think the thing that we kind of like took a little bit longer with Dylan and I was like, we both kind of had an idea and we both thought it was the same idea, but then we actually had to like walk through like the day or like the events of like the week or whatever of like how it would actually look, because then we realized we were actually like saying the same thing, but we were understanding it like differently. Like I can't remember what it was for, but I actually had to be like okay, in the morning I will wake up, we're gonna have like a group brunch with like the bridal party, and then I'll start to like we actually had to like walk through like that whole process to the end of the day to like when the reception party ends and everything, to make sure we were on the same page because I think at one point it was like, oh, are we having an officiant, or are we just gonna like do it ourselves? Are we gonna get one? Are we gonna like hire someone, have it be someone we know? And I think we were misunderstanding each other. And stuff like that. So I feel like with your partner, actually making sure you're on the same page, but you really have to go into details, because I think I also used a lot of words, because I feel like, you know, generally like females, you know, kind of like dream about their wedding and know more terminology. But like, for example, not to throw Dylan under the bus, but he didn't know what a tablescape was, like the table decor. So then I had to like explain that, because he's like, you keep saying these words and I don't know what it means. So I feel like getting aligned, getting organized, and then I think setting your budget really early. Because like when people say like you can easily go over budget, I actually think you don't have to. Like people are like, oh well, you just end up, and I'm like, no, I think if you actually stick to it and make like realistic. If you're like, oh, I can get a venue for $1,000, like that's not gonna happen. If you have like realistic budgets that like fit with whatever you want, and then you're like, okay, this is how much you're gonna spend on flowers, invitations, like the big stuff, like the little things, like if you buy, you know, 2 pairs of shoes instead of 1, like I don't know, $50 probably doesn't make or break it. But I think that's also really important, and just being aligned on the budget, and then maybe saying like, if we were to go over, how much are we kind of okay with? If something's like what we really want, like perfect, like are you okay with going $1,000 over, or is it only like 100, or even like more than that, depending on what your budget is? I think that's important. I kept hearing it from other people when we got engaged. They're like, you're just gonna go over budget, and I kind of got annoyed when they were like telling me that. I'm like, I don't think you have to, unless you like really find a place that you're obsessed with and it's over budget and you decide to go with it. But I'm like, I think there's so many venues and so many places, like I think you could make it work with your budget.
And I think with that there's also more effort. Like, yeah, you might not be able to meet your budget if you are only willing to go look at 3 venues versus 10 venues. If you're also only willing to look at 3 caterers versus 10 caterers. Like, I think there's more effort needed if you are trying to meet your budget, and you probably also have to plan in advance for the wedding. If you plan it 1 year before, you're limiting your options. So I think there's a lot that goes into it. But you're right. Like I don't think it's not possible. And the people that maybe are saying it's not possible, maybe they were lazy and didn't look at all
and maybe they're like, okay, well, I'll pay the extra like $300 or whatever for this thing, and that's fine. And I'm not judging anyone that does that, but I was kind of like, it can't be impossible to stay within budget, or at least, you know, like around. So if you're like pretty strict about it and you're willing to put in extra effort, I think is doable. So I think those are the 3 big things that are like really important, like with your partner to do.
That's a good answer.
Thank you.
Let's got back from dropping off Yan and Dylan. It was so sad because honestly we had such a fun time. I feel like it was really cool. Like Shiv has met Dylan and Yana multiple times before and they were already like friends, but I do feel like this weekend really solidified like the friendship, you know, and it's really cool to see that friendship also get built like with your significant other and then your like friends that have known you for a long time. So that was so fun, and it was like a mix of like a chill but a activity filled weekend. So overall I would say it was a success. And so it's definitely sad to see them go, because the next time we're probably going to see them is literally for their wedding, which is insane. But I think I'm just going to close off the vlog because I am going to take a shower, and then I'm going to just do I have like finals this week, so I have to study for 2 classes. I have a final tomorrow and then 1 on Wednesday. So I really need to get studying because I've done nothing this weekend, and then I need to prep for the week, so cook some food and figure all that stuff out. So I'm gonna close off the vlog, but hopefully you enjoyed the fun little weekend in Chicago showing our friends around.